That is nothing.
Nothing.
Wait. Did you see this in the paper?
What?
This is major news.
What?
Our friend Jack Spector died while he was on the air. Seriously. I'm not kidding, Fred.
What air?
What air? What air? You mean the most shocking part of that is what air?
No air.
What air? Like, what air was Jack on?
I guess he didn't have FU money.
No.
Still could have air.
Radio pro Jack Spector dies. Ex-good guy suffers fatal on-air attack.
Wow.
On air. You know how embarrassing that is to die on air?
Can we get that?
Oh, come on. Jack was a good guy.
Jack was a great guy. That's terrible.
Should I read it to you guys?
Yes.
Wow.
Jack Spector, an early WMCA good guy,
Oh, boy.
who went on to 33 years in New York radio, died doing what he loved. We knew this guy. We worked with him at NBC.
Oh, yeah, we used to
goof on him. I like the picture they used of him, boy. That must be about 100 years earlier. How come I can't get a good picture in the newspaper? How come they use a picture of him?
have to die.
I mean, seriously, when is the last time Jack Spector looked like this?
Where is that from? Is that the
That's high school.
Yeah, and that's before they actually had photographs. That's an artist rendering.
That's right.
Matthew Brady.
Yeah, right.
What did they call those old photographs? Kinescope.
Yeah, that's taken from a kinescope.
The Garrow. It's inside. The Garrow.
Jack Spector. When I was working at NBC, you knew Jack, right, Jackie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't he come on after you?
Yeah.
Right.
He did the sports guy who knew nothing about sports.
The old
That was-
guy.
yeah.
You hoodwinked 10 minutes one time.
Yeah.
Oh, we should pull that tape as a eulogy.
We were, NBC was like a really interesting radio station to work at because, well, it was just like it brought together a weird mix of people and it created a weird sort of energy.
I don't know what they were going for.
You notice here, like we don't even interact with the other DJs and we don't care what they do?
Yeah.
There I was completely involved and yelling at everyone and screaming.
But somehow they kept us all mixed in there.
Yeah.
That seemed like a fraternity house over there, kind of.
Where, at NBC?
Yeah.
No, I think this is more of a fraternity house.
But, I mean, you guys kind of knew each other more over there.
Well, no, we all hated each other.
I didn't say you liked each other.
I hated Imus used to walk around like licking my ass all day because he was trying to, I guess, suck in some information. Remember,
Yeah,
he used to follow me around like a puppy.
He used to come in at 5 or something in the morning and stay and do the first couple of hours of our show.
Yeah. The guy had nowhere to go, pathetic freak. And he would just stay around going, hey, you're on to something really good here.
And then he started sitting and writing meetings. You
Yeah.
couldn't get rid of him. He
Yeah.
was like your shadow,
Well, he was learning at the master's feet.
I guess.
And then Soupy I hated. I was always at war with Soupy. Soupy Sales. I don't even know how that happened.
Those wars were happening in the hall.
Yeah. And I was at war with just about everyone.
Yeah,
the
but
general
Jack
manager.
we liked.
We liked Jack Spector. It was really weird. So NBC at night wasn't getting any ratings. They weren't getting any ratings anywhere except from when we were on. And they weren't getting any ratings at night. So this guy, John Hayes, the Incubus, who was our general manager, decided he's going to put on a sports talk show at night.
And he looked all over the market.
Yeah, so I even I had spoken to Art Russ Jr. a few times, and I recommended him for the job because he used to get ratings.
Yeah.
He had like a 3 rating at night, which is pretty good. But John Hayes didn't want to spend any money. So John Hayes and Jack Spector came in for the job, and they came up with this sports show where the host knew nothing about sports. That was the idea. He was a regular guy trying to learn about sports.
Yeah, and then he'd have guests in to try to tell him what sports were.
And because the show was so low rated and there was really no reason for some real sports guys to go on, he'd have guys like from kayaking clubs on.
Yeah.
And sports that nobody cared about.
It was like fishing guys would come in and talk about lures.
Fishing guys.
And how to cut a hole in the ice.
Fishing guys. What a pisser. So Jack used to, and like Jack would sit there wait for phone calls and junk. So we had to call Billy. Remember Billy, his producer?
Yeah.
Billy, can you get me some water? Thank you. Billy, can I have some water? Remember, Jack didn't know anything about sports, but he was a cool guy.
He was one of the only people there that was really nice to me.
Yeah.
You're right, he didn't know anything about sports, and but he was proud of it.
Right. Well, what else was he going to do? You just say, well, I don't know anything about sports. Give me a call. Let's talk sports.
And he was always being corrected. People were always, no, Jack, the so-and-so's won the World Series that night. Yeah.
Right. Well, what do you want to expect me to know? Everything? I'm just learning.
And, you know, Billy had a big tragedy with him one day. Jack had that lucky water glass for like 16 years.
Yeah.
And Billy dropped it.
Yeah, but obviously. Jack just died on the air. He's not so lucky. Yeah, Jack had a special water glass that Billy had to fill every day.
But he called it his lucky water glass.
Yeah, it was his lucky glass.
Yeah, he had all these things.
Yeah, like Jack had, you know, I guess something lucky had happened. This is probably Billy's fault.
I don't think he had much luck at all. He should have gotten rid of that glass a lot sooner.
Billy should have broken it earlier. I'm the guy who told Billy to break the glass. Hey, Billy, why don't you break that glass? Let's see what happens. Let's see if Jack fires you.
So what happened on this on-air?
Oh, okay. All right, here we go.
You know, I was just listening to him last week.
Really?
My dad used to listen to that station.
WHLI in Hempstead?
Yeah, it's like, you know.
I always pass that station when I go drive to my mom and dad's house. They got a big water tower, like, or something. I don't know what it is, and it says WHLI on it.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's like a real nice advertisement. It's a Hempstead, Long Island radio station. HLI, Hempstead, Long Island.
I never heard of it.
Yeah, it's a small station.
Yeah.
Good old Jack. I didn't realize he was at WHLI.
He loved broadcasting, didn't he?
Well, Jack was the first guy to come to me and say, Howard, you got to get FU money. He didn't use the words FU. I go, what do you mean, FU money? I'd never heard the expression before, oddly enough.
That?
I go, what do you mean, FU money? He goes, well, I don't need this job. If I lose this job, I've got my glasses business. I go, what do you mean, like your lucky glasses? He goes, no. I have an eyeglass business where I sell eyeglasses. And I have plenty of FU money. It's a very successful business. And if I should lose this job, I don't care. I can tell them FU. I said, okay. I'm going to work on that, Jack. Thanks. In other words, Jack, what you're saying is try to save some money so you're not beholden to your boss. Is that what you're saying? Yes.
Something like that.
Something like that. FU money he knew. Sports he didn't. Why he didn't do an FU money show, I don't know. So anyway, Jack Spector, one of the original WMCA good guys. And I got to tell you something. When I was a kid growing up, if you were a WMCA good guy, or you were one of the disc jockeys at WABC New York where they played music, that meant you were at the top of your craft. There was no bigger station to work for than WMCA or WABC. Those were the two big music stations. There was no real big FM station. You know, when I was real little, those were the stations.
Right.
And it was sad to me as I got into this business how many WMCA good guys I saw working in places like WHLI and up in Peekskill and.
Yeah, they were all over the place.
Yeah, and it used to freak me out about going into radio. I was like, whoa. I said, man, this business sucks.
What was that other guy's name who used to run around in the blue blazer all the time?
Yeah. I ran into him in Peekskill. His name was, I don't even remember which WMCA good guy it is. I'll think of it. I'll think of it as we talk.
Yeah, because he always had his little blazer with his crest on his
Yeah. Unbelievable.
And that's what you always think of a good guy.
Right. He's a good guy. He's a good guy.
He's a good guy.
Anyway, Jack Spector, an early WMCA good guy who went on to 33 years in New York radio, died doing what he loved yesterday, suffering a massive heart attack on the air at Long Island's WHLI. Are they going to release tape of it?
That's a news item.
Spector, 62, was a good guy from 1961 until WMCA switched to the all-talk format in 1972. He was substituting yesterday for Dean Anthony, a fellow good guy in the 60s, and now WHLI program director. Spector suffered the attack about 11:45 a.m. and was taken to a local hospital where he was pronounced dead at 12:35 p.m. We saw the airwaves had gone dead, said Jane Barsh, WHLI vice president and general manager. One of the employees went into the studio and saw him slumped over. The doctor said he never knew what hit him.
Wow. So it wasn't like he was talking. He was probably playing a record.
I don't know, Robin. I don't know. He was substituting for a sports talk. I mean, a talk show guy.
Is that right?
Dean Anthony. Well, I don't know. Maybe he was a music guy. You know, we're going to have to investigate.
Yeah, let's call them.
WHLI?
Yeah.
They wouldn't know what's going on. Barsh recalled yesterday that she and Spector, a large man who stood 6'3" and weighed more than 200 pounds, used to fight all the time because he smoked like a fiend. Used to fight.
Funny? I don't remember him smoking.
Me neither. What does she mean he used to fight all the time?
Well, I guess she fought him about smoking. She didn't want him to smoke.
Like fist fight or something? But he was the best. He had a happy word for everybody, and everybody respected him because he was such a radio person. He definitely died doing what he loved, she said. No, dying while having sex is dying while you
Or for him, maybe it was dying while smoking.
Yeah, but I don't think radio is high on that list. A guy who was busy with FU money. He died at work, right. He died at work. There's nothing fun about, after 63 years of sitting and spinning records, and say WHLI, and nobody listening.
I don't have to do this.
Yeah.
Yes, you do.
I think when you get to WHLI, if you don't have to do it, you don't.
Yeah.
That's what used to freak me out about being a kid growing up on Long Island. I used to say, wait a second, all these crummy stations like WHLI sound really good. Like, these guys sound really professional. They were professional announcers. I go, where the hell am I going to fit into this business? How am I going to get a start? Everybody sounds good, and they're on WHLI. WHLI is supposed to be a station where guys like me are supposed to get a job, who don't have any experience. Very confusing. What could Jack have been making at WHLI?
Well, this was just filling, too.
Yeah, maybe he was doing what he loved most. After WMCA, Spector worked for 4 years at WHN and then 9 at WCBS-FM, where he became your main man, Jake.
I didn't even know his name.
Yeah, remember that? He said, I remember when I used to call in and make phony phone calls to a show? And he'd say, don't call me Jack, call me Jake.
Yes.
And I was like, well, isn't your name Jack? Then why do you call yourself Jack? Why don't you call yourself Jake Spector? He was so proud of that FU money. I always thought he didn't have an eyeglasses business. I used to think he was out mowing lawns or something.
Well, I never saw the Jack Spector glasses shop.
No, well, actually, I went to buy glasses because, I buy a lot of pairs of glasses. I went in and some guy says, hey, yeah, Jack Spector services my shop.
Is that right?
Yeah, so he was like, he was legitimate. Let's see. He became your main man, Jake, on the Saturday Night Sock Hop.
Oh, boy.
He did a short-lived sports talk show on WNBC, and that was where we met him.
Yeah.
And worked at... Hey, maybe we should go to the funeral or something. We knew the guy. We didn't know him that well, though.
I was going to say.
Yeah, maybe the family would look at it as like we were there as a goof or something. But I liked him.
Yeah, maybe we could send flowers or something.
Yeah. We never get to go to anybody's funeral.
We don't know anybody. Nobody who dies, anyway.
All our friends live. Anyway, and then when Sam Kinison died, a funeral we were welcomed at.
He died so far away.
Yeah. He died like halfway across the world. And then before you knew, even if you wanted to go to that funeral, they didn't even bury him. They buried him in like Oklahoma or something.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Sam was traveling even in death.
I can't believe they called all these guys for quotes about Jack, and they didn't ask me. He was a fun guy, said Joe McCoy, WCBS-FM program director. He had bypass surgery several years ago and asked me to put him on the air for about 2 weeks after the operation. He said it was the best rehabilitation he could get. WCBS-FM put together a Spector salute yesterday, and Barsh said WHLI also was planning a tribute. Wow.
Boy, CBS-FM was right on it.
Maybe we should get our tribute going and beat out WHLI.
Yeah, but how did that CBS-FM know he was going to die, that they had a tribute already?
Hey, Gary, quickly, pull together my Jack Spector on-air tribute package. At least get the phony phone call I made to him once. WCBS-FM put together a Spector salute yesterday, and Barsh said WHLI also was planning a tribute. WHLI kept playing music immediately after Spector's fatal attack yesterday. You're right, it was a music show, said Barsh. I bet you nobody even knew that he passed away. That's the sad part of radio. The guy passed away on the air, and nobody even, they just played a couple more records and just threw in another disc jockey.
No problem.
Well, radio sucks. You could die on the air, nobody would know. Just keep going. Hi, Jack Spector just left us, and we're back with the Bobby Brown Show. This is Human Newman. Freddie Vedder. Probably the other DJ is sitting on the body. You know what I mean? They can't get Jack out of the chair.
Not even out of the chair. Right. They had to move him so that they could get the record going.
Well, lay him down and we'll sit on him. And then we'll spin some records.
Sitting on his lap.
Yeah, sitting on his lap.
Yeah, they're rolling that chair around from turntable to turntable. Jack's in the way.
Yeah, right. Hey, Jack, somebody do something with Jack. I'm trying to sit here. Jack's in the DJ chair. Well, can't you stand and let Jack sit there? Hey, I'm trying to do a show. You want me to come in and do a show? You got to give me a chair. Yeah, I work sitting. I don't work standing. Jeez, I wonder what was going on. I wonder what was going on in Jack's mind during the whole thing. Dying on the air like that. Because Jack was such a professional, he would always wait to die till after the show was over.
I wonder if he had one of those moments where, you know, he felt that he was feeling badly, but he thought he had to go on with the show.
Yeah, I know. HLI is also planning a tribute. HLI kept playing music immediately after Spector's fatal attack yesterday, said Barsh, delaying announcement of his death until his family could be notified. A native of Brooklyn and star athlete at Boys High, Spector was a star athlete?
But he knew nothing about sports.
Spector briefly played Class D baseball with a Brooklyn Dodger farm team.
Wow.
Before switching to radio in the mid-'50s. He never told us that. He worked in a half-dozen cities before coming home to WMCA. An ebullient man.
An ebullient.
Is that how you say that?
Yeah.
What's an ebullient man?
You know, just happy-go-lucky, lively, you know.
An ebullient man who said... ebullient.
I've never heard that word said out loud either.
I know. Robin, at least, is smart. At least he knew.
It's ebullient to me.
Yeah, right. An ebullient.
Ebullient?
Is that, you sure?
Yes.
That's soup.
That's good that you know that. An ebullient man who said the only thing he ever missed was Ebbets Field. Spector's radio sign-off was, do you remember?
No.
Fred, do you remember Jack Spector's radio sign-off?
This I don't. I read it, but I don't remember what it was. I never heard him say it on the air.
No, that was his sign-off on the last show.
That's when he didn't finish the show.
It's that same noise Robin makes. It's just that special kind of thing. An ebullient man. Ebullient. I've read that word before and never knew what it was, and I never bothered to look it up.
I still think she's wrong.
An ebullient man, EBULLIENT, who said the only thing ever was ever feel. Spector's radio sign-off was, "Look out, streets, here I come."
I never heard him say that.
If he said that, I would have smacked him. I would have smacked him until he had a heart attack.
Look out, streets.
Look out, streets, here I come.
You may have said that. We just turned off before we got
whoever got to the end of his show.
Nobody.
Look out, streets, here I come.
Thank goodness they wrote it down.
Yeah, we got to call Billy. Billy was his producer.
Yeah, Billy will be going to the funeral, I'm sure.
Billy lives in Los Angeles now, working for CBS out there. I doubt he's coming in for the funeral.
I didn't know Billy had moved.
Yeah. He's survived by his wife, Marilyn, and 3 daughters.
And Billy.
Yeah, we used to talk about having daughters, me and Jack. How great it was.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, inside, we're both in pain because we don't have sons.
Oh, you. He has nobody to carry on that Jake Spector name.
As a tribute to Jack Spector, or Jake as he likes to be called, I will sign off all week with, "Look out, streets, here I come."
There you go.
I will. I'm going to use Jack's sign-off from now on.
All right.
As a tribute to my man.
Why don't you just become Jake?
I'm going to be Jake Spector. Hey, why don't I do the ultimate tribute? I'll do it like this. Jake Spector here. How did he talk, Fred?
That's pretty much it.
Oh, totally.
Like, Billy, give me my lucky glass.
Lucky glass, and let's get going. And look out, streets, here I come.
Here I come.
No.
You don't have to call me Jack. You don't have to call me Jake. You can call me whatever you want.
Right.
Yeah, that was that phone.
And I used to be, well, I'll call you the greatest sportscaster ever lived.
Oh, you're too kind.
You can call every night.
Yeah, I have.
You're not Howard Stern, are you?
Oh, the next day when you told him.
Yeah, I know. He was crushed.
Oh.
Well, me and Fred used to feel bad that Jack Spector on his sports show never got any good phone calls, any positive phone calls. And we used to get back. That's when I was living in that first house I bought on Long Island. Yeah. And Fred and I don't know, somehow Fred always ended up at my house at night. I said, "Fred, let's go make our call to Jack." And I would use different voices, and Jack used to call me the best phone caller he ever had. Never knew it was me.
Oh, I love you.
I did it a bunch of times, but I have one of them on tape.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Gary, can you bring that in?
And the thing is that on the tape you don't say that you're Howard.
No, never.
The next day, we brought him in just before his shift.
He almost had a heart attack. All right, let's take a break. I'll do my tribute to Jack Spector. I'll go look for that tape.
That's so sad.
Yeah, it is sad. He was a really nice guy.
One of the few nice guys we ever met in radio.
For us to get along with him at NBC was a miracle because we hated everyone at NBC.
In fact, he was always on your side.
Yeah. He even called me when they fired me. That's right. Did I ever tell you this?
No.
He called me after we'd been fired from NBC. Called me for a couple of nights in a row to see how I was doing.
Wow.
And to say how bogus he thought it was. And, hey, from purely selfish reasons, you were a great lead-in for me, and now I'm stuck. What?
I'm still looking for the tape. Just give me a couple minutes.
All right. Little bulletin from Baba Bohai.
So he called you for a couple of nights in a row?
Yeah, he'd call me every night, and to the point where I'd say to my wife, if Jack Spector calls, just pretend I'm not here, because it was like, really, you know when you've been fired,
You don't want to talk about
and
it.
you kind of feel like, hey, it's like two losers trying to commiserate. Like Jack was like, hey, don't worry, you have plenty of talent, you'll get another job. And it was fun the first night, but then when he calls every night to see how you're doing,
Yeah.
it gets a little intense. Well, any prospects?
Right, 2 nights after you've been...
Yeah, right. You hear from it? I'm sure you're going to have a job. You hear from anyone? Well, no. Not yet. I'm sure they're going to be calling, though. Oh, well, yes, they are. You're very talented. Just keep fighting. Keep fighting, pal. I thought what they did was wrong, and from purely selfish reasons, I would like you to be on before me. Because you had great ratings. And great, you need a great lead-in. If without a lead-in, I'm stuck. Then he'd start bitching about how he had no lead in. I'm like,
Right.
hey, dude, you got a job.
And you got a glasses business.
Yeah, whoever thought hey, Jack, any openings in that glasses business? I got a kid coming. My wife's pregnant.
Oh.
That was 10 years ago.
Yeah, and you were moving to a new house.
Yeah. Really great timing.
Totally out of work.
Yeah, out of work, new house.
New baby.
Yeah, baby on the way. That was 10 years ago.
Look out streets.
Look out streets, here I come.
You were on this street.
I didn't want to hear that sign off. Poor Jack Spector. Lucky guy. Right on the air. Well, he died doing what he loved most.
Is that the way you'd like to go? On the air?
Yo, sure. Yeah, that would be too much. I wouldn't be ridiculed for too long. Go right on the air.
Served him right.
Yeah. How many people would be cheering?
Yeah, that tape would not be.
Yeah. That wouldn't make the rounds, yeah. Jack
That would
Spector's
be
tape.
on every show.
Yeah, where is Jack Spector's tape of him dying on the air? That they don't play out of respect. They even put a nice picture of him in the paper.
Yeah.
Me, it'll be like a gargoyle picture. Gargoyle dead.
You'd finally get on Entertainment Tonight.
Oh, yeah, in a big way. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be back right after these words. I keep obsessing and thinking about what Jack Spector's last moments, because we are disc jockeys, and I wonder what his last moments on the air were like when he had this heart attack. In case you're just waking up, a friend of ours, one of the disc jockeys that we actually liked.
Probably the only
Really?
disc jockey at NBC that we got along with.
Was Jack Spector. And he,
We're such pleasant people.
Yeah, I mean, he died on the air. I mean, it's sad.
Yeah.
He died on the air, but I mean, what was like the last moments? I mean, like physically, I'm talking a big 6'3" man, 200 pounds, died on the air, and now there's a body sitting there. And I'm reading in Newsday, they said they try to revive him.
And you want radio people trying to revive.
You know they're the most qualified. People who couldn't do anything else but radio. So he probably would have lived if they had a competent person there.
And how long do you think you know how radio is. He could have been off the air for 15 minutes.
Well, you know what's funny? I don't know. I have the feeling that they didn't miss a beat. Like, I've listened to WHLI. I never hear them go dead on the air. So I'm thinking, he dies. They hear the sound go off, the record run out for a second.
Yeah.
And then there's a mad scramble to get a record
on, not to get him
no,
up.
Yeah, well, I think first you get the record. First you start yelling at him, hey, what's the matter? Don't you see that? And like, is he slumped over in his chair? Is he laying on the floor?
Yeah, that's what they said, that he was slumped over.
Really?
Yeah. So they probably had to move him off the controls.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, does someone have to come in and wheel Jack back? I mean, at that point, is it like Weekend at Bernie's? You know what I mean? Like, I mean, physically, I would like to interview the people who worked on Jack last.
Yeah.
Recreate it.
I'd like to know what they did.
Somebody had to, because he was a big guy, right?
Yeah, that's a fascinating story to me, and I don't mean it out of any disrespect. I like the guy. I just wonder how you handle something like that. Like there's Jack. I'm sure he's on a roller chair,
right,
as we all are, because we need to roll when we do our shows.
Meanwhile, it's probably a tiny little station, right? Probably.
I don't know. I've never seen it. But I'm sure if it's WHLI, it can't be a big...
Little room.
Yeah, it's a Hempstead radio station. Can't imagine they got a lot of dough. Probably $6 an hour radio station. Thank God Jack had his eyeglasses business. But, I mean, like, what do? You run into the studio, you see the guy slumped over in a chair.
And the first thing you do is get the music back on.
Yeah, I mean, you know...
In those crucial seconds, Jack Spector could have been saved.
I don't know. Like, is it like... I'm just trying to recreate it here. Let me get a record. It must have been like a Marx Brothers movie, you know, like that stateroom scene with people piling in, and then like does the disc jockey like roll Jack back, get to the turntable, because Jack must have been blocking the turntables. So it had to be sort of like it's like the record's running out. It's on 45.
Yeah, I hope Jack had it on the right speed.
Who knows with Jack, you know. And you know, it's like you hear it at the end there. No. And then all of a sudden you hear, disc jockey, you're ready. WHLI, oh, yeah, baby. All right, the Jack Spector Show over. Thank you, Jack. And let's get down to it now on WHLI. Little Led Zeppelin for you, baby. All right, thanks, Jack. We'll be doing our $1,000 jackpot call in a minute. What's that all about? Okay, Jack. Thank you, Cousin Jack. All right, what's that all about? They probably had echo chamber. All right, I want to thank my good buddy Jack. Okay, Jack, thank you.
I bet you they didn't even acknowledge it.
You think it was just like this? Here, like... Get the body out of here. Get the mic off. WHO. Go. WHO live.
Yeah, they probably did one of those kind of things.
Yeah. Move the crap. His arm hit the turntable.
Just get him out of here.
Get him out of there. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right Oh, man. Christ, just get a record on. You're stiff already. You're stiff. WHLR. Breaking format, playing any record they can find. Oh, man. Poor Jack.
Only Jack would go that way.
That's the worst way to go.
I don't know. I mean...
I don't know.
They said, you know, it was such a massive heart attack, he probably never knew what hit him.
Oh. What was it, on a Monday, I guess? Yeah, what's today, Tuesday? No, it was that's 2 for Tuesday he died on. No one dies on 2 for Tuesday. Weren't they have a special 2 for a contest? If you don't hear 2 for in a row, you get $20,000 or something?
He might have cost the station a lot of money.
That's right. Oh, no. What's Spector doing? He didn't play 2 in a row. It's going to cost us $20,000.
That's when they
Yeah, coming yelling at him. That's when he had the heart attack. It's a lot of pressure. You know, a lot of stations do that. They have like 2 for Tuesday, and if you don't hear 2 in a row, you get $20,000. Some guy,
and they don't mean for you to mess up.
Yeah, and guys don't make a lot of money in radio. Boom. Well, I'm going to play you the phony phone call I made to Jack once. It was a loving phone call. It made him very happy, actually. He liked the phone call.
Until you told him the next day that
well,
you were goofing on.
Well, during the call he liked it. It made him very happy.
Yeah.
I've got such cool stuff for you today, Robin. We sent Stuttering John over to a NAMBLA press conference.
Stop it.
The North American
NAMBLA has press conference?
The North American Man Boy Love Association had a press conference yesterday. Man, was fireworks going.
That in itself should be criminal. People
I know.
don't get arrested at the
Well,
NAMBLA press conference.
Well, John almost did. It was unbelievable. Unbelievable what happened. Ratso was over there, too. Ratso went there. I don't know what he was doing there.
Ratso doing there?
He's a member. Ratso's not a member. He was over there. He called me. He goes, man, it was unbelievable. Turns out, Stuttering John went over to the North American Man-Boy Love Association press conference. You know that movie that's coming out on North American Man-Boy Love Association called Chicken Hawk?
Yeah, the one you played some pieces from?
Yeah, Chicken Hawk is like this underground film on those guys.
And they think it's a good film.
Yeah, and quite frankly, it's really, it shows them in something of a sympathetic light, but not really. I mean, you get sick into your stomach by these guys. And you know how much I hate the North American Man-Boy Love Association. I mean, that's not controversial. I think everyone does. I mean, anytime you take a 12-year-old and lure him into homosexual sex, what's that all about? A lot of these kids who get lured into this stuff need psychiatric counseling the rest of their lives, and they go insane.
Yeah, and all they wanted was a camping trip.
Right. Yeah, want a camping trip from a nice, gentle man. So, I don't know. There was a guy there who shows up at every NAMBLA thing that they do.
Yeah.
Who is called... He's from an organization called Straight Sex or something, and he's into making sure that NAMBLA is, he yells at them wherever they go.
I see.
Which is cool. So you think he would recognize that we're there to goof on these guys.
Uh-huh.
Instead, he gets mad at Stuttering John and starts yelling and threatening him, telling him, wait till you hear this confrontation.
Really?
Because he feels Stuttering John is making a joke out of this and there's nothing funny about it. But meanwhile, we're there ridiculing these guys. I don't know. It was one big misunderstanding.
Did John get off any questions? Is that what started
John asked every question.
Because I heard you guys laughing over the questions. I didn't even know what the questions were, but you were almost crying over the questions.
Oh, the questions are brilliant. So we've got that going on. We've got that going on today, so hold on to your hats. You're going to love it.
Man, I can't wait for that.
I got to take a short little break. We'll take some phone calls, and then we'll do Stuttering John. Also, Lennox Lewis is going to stop by.
You're kidding, the boxer?
The boxer. He's going to stop by.
When was the last time he fought?
I don't know. It's hard for him to get fights for some reason. I don't know.
Because he'll win.
Because he'll win.
Yeah, they're all afraid to fight him.
Well, that doesn't make him any money at all.
No, he's too good. He can't get a fight with anyone. But he's got a fight coming up, so...
Well, that's good.
He's stopping by. Very nice guy. Very well-mannered, Robin.
Well, let's hope.
Yeah.
Because he's a big guy.
He is. So he's stopping by.
All right.
So get your British accent already, Robin.
Yeah, right. He's single, too. And from what I hear, he really digs you.
No, you didn't hear anything.
I heard it. You know how I heard it?
How?
Yeah.
From the Duvers who were promoting the fight.
The Duvers are involved with Lennox Lewis?
Yeah.
There he goes.
Oh, listen to him.
You wrote in a book.
I'm going home. I don't feel well today. I don't need this.
He's a big fan of yours.
Well, then somebody should have told me.
Why, you looking for a date? This could be the big payday. This could be your FU money.
Right.
This could be Jack Spector looking down at you from heaven.
Touch my makeup.
Wow.
Well, I guess I will have to go make up.
You better go make up. Do whatever you have to do. This could be the catch of the century. All right. Anyway, plus when he sees you're British, or you're bilingual anyway.
Bilingual.
He'll flip. He'll flip his lid. So put on a little makeup and put on the rollerblades. I don't mind the makeup. Anything athletic, this guy likes. All right, anyway, let me play you the North American Man-Boy Love Association. Let me take a few phone calls. It's going to be a big morning here. But first, of course, some important words.